Welcome back to World According to Briggs, the channel where we explore America one questionable life decision at a time. Today we're talking about something near and dear to every American who woke up one morning, looked at their mortgage, their taxes, and their neighbors' questionable lawn decorations, and thought, you know what, I should move. Now before you start packing and calling realtors, take a breath and listen. Not every state wants you. In fact, some states would be happier just seeing you drive past them into the next time zone. We're diving into the top 10 least welcoming states in America. We aren't just looking at how the locals feel. That could be its own video. These are the states where taxes are high, housing prices are tragic, crime is spicy, and the attitude towards newcomers range from slightly annoyed to, did you seriously just move here from California? So grab your coffee, your emotional support dog, and let's look at the states where your U-Haul might get greeted with cold stares, a tax bill, or a heartfelt turn around and go home please. Let's take a look. Number 10, Washington State. Washington is beautiful, but it's starting to give off that we're full, go away energy. No income tax sounds good until you realize that the state collects money through everything short of charging you from trail hiking fees by the yard and Bigfoot sightings. Housing prices in Seattle are so high that you start to wonder if Amazon is secretly trying to buy all the homes so they can own an entire city for Jeff Bezos' next wedding. Crime in major metros has spiked, leaving newcomers clutching their MacBook Pros a little bit tighter every day. And the general vibe? Polite but distant. Washingtonians won't tell you not to move there, but they will absolutely post a passive-aggressive Reddit comment about it. Now, they got this thing called the Seattle Freeze, which most people know about if you know anything about Seattle. This is a thing where they're nice to you in a customer service type of way, but they don't want any new friends. They don't like newcomers. If you're a total introvert, this is perfect for you. You won't have to worry about gaining new friends if you move to Seattle. If you like to talk to people past the general morning greetings, this might be a problem. This city swipes left more than any other city in the United States. Now, their cost of living in most of the state is very expensive, at least on the western side of the state. And that kind of makes it unfriendly towards a lot of people. They're also somewhat considered an unfriendly business atmosphere, especially in the Seattle area. They got way too many hoops they got to jump through. Then when you take a look at the housing prices in different parts of the state, it's like the left side of the state, the West Coast side, their housing is a little aggressive. The average home value in Seattle, well, at least the metro area, is about $847,000. Now you go the exact opposite side of the state, Spokane, it's just under $400,000, $393,000. It's hard to believe that a major city like Seattle, with such horrible weather, has such high prices. Number 9, Colorado. Colorado went from chill mountain paradise to please stop moving here. We can't handle any more people discovering skiing and hiking. Housing prices skyrocketed, traffic turned into a horror movie, and taxes quietly crept up while everyone was busy taking selfies of the Continental Divide. Businesses do fine here, but operating in Denver comes with the fun challenge of competing with 800 breweries and 400 tech startups founded by guys with names like Tyler and Blaine. Crime in Denver and Aurora hasn't exactly helped Colorado's warm reputation. Locals glare at newcomers like they're personally melting the glaciers. This gets really bad in some of the ski towns up in the Rockies. Cute little places to live like Aspen back in the 1970s have turned into multi-billionaire playgrounds. Longtime locals of the Rocky Mountains don't really like this. And just from a personal thing, since I've been doing this channel, Colorado is one of those states that more than any other state has left comments in the comment section about we're full and stuff like that. They really don't want any new people. They've seen a flood of people come in there starting in the late 1960s. John Denver starts singing songs about the place. Next thing you know, anyone that was a hippie, free-spirited, or read some philosophy book about getting back to nature needs to move to Colorado. I read a news report where they're talking about the homeless people in Denver. This woman has a yellow car, I guess, and she caught the same homeless man like 3 different times peeing on her car while she was at work. Like the guy was standing on the hood of her car taking a leak. But back to those mountain towns like Aspen, this is how unfriendly those places are to live. To buy a home, the average home value in Aspen, Colorado is $3.4 million. That's just the average. Telluride isn't much cheaper, it's $2 million on average. One of the lowest is Breckenridge, and theirs are $1.1 million. Like hostile real estate prices, if you ask me. Number 8, Vermont. Vermont is gorgeous, peaceful, and has a population density of a Costco parking lot at 2 a.m. It also has taxes that'll hit you in the face like a bag of frozen syrup. Businesses face tight regulations, and housing prices spiked after every remote worker within 600 miles decided they needed a farmhouse with a wooden stove. Crime is low, sure, that's great, but welcoming energy? Not so much. Vermonters are friendly, eventually. First, they need to determine if you're trustworthy, not annoying, and capable of driving in snow taller than your car. Expect to be called the new person until your kids graduate high school. Vermont is another one of those places that has gotten more and more popular over the last decade. With remote work, it's pretty much changed the landscape of the state, and a lot of the locals and longtime residents, they've about had enough. Not as much as some of the other states, but they're getting there. I did a video probably 4 years ago about great places to live in Vermont. I got a fair amount of emails from people telling me I need to take that down because I was going to get the secret out that Vermont's a state. It's like, I'm not telling them where your secret fishing spot is. I'm telling them about a state. I don't know how many times I had to reply with things like, let it go, Colin. Give it a rest, Claire. If you ever visit Vermont, you'll see why so many people like moving there, or they want to move there. The winters chase a lot of them back south, but it's a beautiful state. Vermont people know it, they just don't want to share it with a lot of people. Number 7, Connecticut. Connecticut is the luxury version of New England, expensive, polished, and annoyed that you parked on its lawn. The taxes are so high they should come with VIP seating. Utility costs are famously absurd. Housing prices swing from reasonable-ish to you must be laundering money. Crime isn't statewide, but cities like Bridgeport and Hartford pad the stats pretty heavily. Business costs are steep, so expect your small shop to pay big shop bills. As for newcomers, Connecticut welcomes you with a polite nod and subtle judgment. It's the kind of place where the locals learn your name immediately but refuse to use it until you've lived there for like 12 years. Connecticut is a very strange place. It has some of the worst neighborhoods in the country, in Hartford normally, and Bridgeport ain't great. But then they also have some of the wealthiest small towns and communities in the country. It's where all those high finance dudes from downtown Manhattan and the financial district buy their weekend homes at. So the places that are affordable aren't places you really want to live. And if you experience people from Connecticut, they remind me of New Jersey people. They're just kind of rough in the way they talk and the way they act. Doesn't necessarily mean they're being rude. It just kind of comes off too, especially people from the western side of the United States. It sounds rude, but that's just the way they talk. And they have a strange obsession with Dunkin' Donuts. Don't talk bad about Dunkin' in Connecticut.
Before we go on, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Chapter. I wanted to find a great Medicare resource for my audience. Here's why. Recently, the Department of Justice filed a massive fraud complaint against 3 of the largest Medicare brokers in the country. According to the DOJ, these brokers misled seniors, claiming to offer unbiased help while secretly steering them to insurance plans that paid the highest kickbacks. Not the best plan, not the right plan, just the most profitable one for them. That type of stuff drives me insane, but really, it's not surprising. That's why I recommend Chapter. Chapter is different. The company was founded because their own parents were scammed and they vowed to fix the system. They're fully independent, and they're the only national advisors that search every Medicare plan available to find the one that actually fits your needs. They advocate for you, not the insurance companies. There's no steering, no pressure, just ethical, honest help at no cost to you. The DOJ case shows how broken the system is. Chapter is working to fix it. So if you want help with Medicare, give Chapter a call at 916-459-1248. You'll talk to a real person who will help you figure out exactly what plan is right for you. Chapter has saved the average senior over $1,000 a year and are a free resource to my audience. Here's their number again. Call Chapter today at 916-459-1248. Back to the video.
Number 6, Oregon. Oregon used to be mellow. Then half the country moved in, home prices shot up into orbit, and locals started giving newcomers that don't even think about it look. Taxes are high, the business climate is weirdly inconsistent, and Portland's reputation now includes everything from crime waves to tent cities to beard oil factories going bankrupt. Housing is ridiculous statewide now, and even rural areas have price tags that feel like a cosmic joke. Newcomers will hear, "We're full," so often they'll assume it's the state motto. When I first moved here, almost 16 years ago, no, it has been 16 years now, a real estate agent would put a for sale sign in front of a house, and then some local would go by with a sticker, put it on there that showed the Ghostbusters don't, that circle with a cross through it, over a map of California. In my 16 years, I've gotten the side eye from quite a few people because I moved here from California. Like I always tell people that yes, I moved here from California after years of meeting people from Oregon in California telling me how wonderful the state was when they moved to California. The good news is I live in the Portland metro area, I live on the outskirts of the woods, and because of all the homeless problems we have, prices are going down and I'm thinking about buying another house. Now, if we can just get the interest rates to go down, I'm all in. Number 5, Alaska. Alaska isn't welcoming. Alaska is simply testing you. The darkness, the moose, and the 44 types of cold that don't exist in the lower 48. Taxes, not bad. Cost of living, astronomical. Groceries cost more than therapy, housing is weirdly expensive, and shipping costs make Amazon cry for mercy. Crime in Anchorage isn't great, but the real danger is getting caught arguing with a car-sized animal blocking your front door. As for newcomers, locals don't mind them. They just quietly bet how long you'll last before you scream, "I can't live here anymore." Yeah, it's not really the people and it's not really the crime or the taxes that is unfriendly for newcomers. It's the environment, the weather. They're brutal. Groceries are expensive, but other things are cheap. And it kind of, I wouldn't say it evens out, but it makes it not as bad as it sounds when you start looking at grocery prices here or anything you buy there. The taxes just buffered a little bit. Number 4, New Mexico. New Mexico is stunning, mystical, and slightly chaotic. Taxes aren't the worst, but the economy is uneven, and the business climate runs hot and cold like an unreliable mood ring. Crime in cities like Albuquerque is high enough to make your insurance company sweat. Housing prices aren't the biggest issue, but cost of living isn't as low as people assume. And the vibe towards newcomers? Friendly, but distant. They treat newcomers like a dog that just wandered into town. Locals want to know if you're here long term or just passing through on a Breaking Bad pilgrimage. Now, what's really strange, locals really don't like newcomers in a lot of places in New Mexico, which is strange because this state sucks. It's got extremely high crime, poverty is crazy here, schools blow, governmental services from potholes to police to fire is all well underfunded. The only thing they got going for it is some of the people are extremely nice and friendly, and the sunsets. Can't beat their sunsets. But those are things you can enjoy on a weekend trip to New Mexico, not living there full time. Number 3, Louisiana. This is another strange one. Louisiana blows, and their people don't like newcomers in a lot of places. Louisiana is a cultural treasure wrapped in humidity and questionable infrastructure. Taxes aren't pretty, business conditions can be rough, and crime rates are among the worst in the nation. Newcomers get instantly acquainted with the concept of flood insurance, which costs about the same as your kid's tuition at a major university. Housing is cheap, but for a reason, and it's not always a comforting kind of reason. As for welcoming outsiders, Louisiana is happy to feed you, party with you, and sell you beads. Living there, that's a whole different initiation ritual involving mosquitoes and potholes that have their own zip code. Yeah, they don't like people moving there, but their tax base is crap because people flood out of there all the time. As the flood waters come in, the flood of people go out. Why do you think Houston's getting so popular? It's where everyone from Louisiana, especially the New Orleans area, moves to. The good news in major cities like New Orleans, the home prices are only $238,000 on average. But are these houses you really want? That's the big thing. Is this a city you really want to live in? Unless you have a reason to live there, like family or business, you shouldn't move to New Orleans. Go there for a festival, Mardi Gras, get some beads, get a little too drunk, have a good time, then go home to a nice place to live. Because the locals in New Orleans don't want you. They just want your money. Number 2, Illinois. Illinois may have invented the phrase death and taxes. Property taxes in Illinois aren't simply high, they're offensive. The business climate is friendly in Chicago and hostile everywhere else. Crime in Chicago is a nationwide talking point, which means every small town 200 miles away gets judged unfairly for their crime rate that isn't really happening in their small town. It's happening in Chicago. Housing is surprisingly affordable, but the tax burden negates that advantage instantly. And newcomers, Illinois residents are friendly enough, they just wonder why you chose their state of all the 50 states we got. Like you willingly ate a burnt piece of pizza. You know, it's not just Chicago bringing crime to Illinois. Rockford is, in some cases, a lot more dangerous than Chicago. Then down south, they got East St. Louis, which is a frickin' nightmare. You remember that Discovery Channel, Life After Humans, where they showed the progression of places once humans just disappeared, what would happen to the world? And it shows how nature would take over and things would crumble, you know, like our bridges would just fall down on their own within like 50 years, just things like that. That's East St. Louis. It's like the midpoint of one of those shows, what it looks like when everything has been falling apart for a few years. Go to Google Street View, just kind of cruise around, poke around, see how long it takes you to find a street that looks like it's had maintenance in the last 10 years. There are cracks, potholes, sidewalks just breaking apart everywhere in this city. It's incredible that a major U.S. city is in this kind of condition. Well, it's not major. St. Louis is the major part. Sure, it's in Illinois and across the river, but it's like a suburb of St. Louis almost. People in St. Louis won't be happy that I said that, but it's a fact. All right, before we get to number 1, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? We'd love you to subscribe. Go ahead and click that button. Give the video a big thumbs up. Tell me if you'd like to see this video done about the cities. What cities are unfriendly to newcomers? All right, on to number 1. And number 1, Hawaii. Yes, Hawaii is a paradise until you check your bank account. Then you realize paradise is paywalled. Housing prices are not normal. Groceries are shipped in at prices that would make a hedge fund manager blink. Taxes are high, utilities are high, gas is high, everything is high except your bank balance. Crime isn't the main deterrent here. The cost of simply existing. That's what makes it an unfriendly place to live. It's a beautiful state. The people are wonderful. They don't like newcomers too much. Actually, they don't like newcomers at all. Most of Hawaii's problems, they blame on mainlanders and the United States. In case you don't know, we took that island over, and not in a good way either. If you think that's not a big deal, all you people in Texas, imagine if all of a sudden Mexico took you over and we let them have you. How bitter would you be? I mean, sure, it's been over 60 years since they became a state, but the locals know what happened. Now, Hawaiians don't tend to be rude, they just tend to be blunt. Hawaii is full. If you insist on moving, they politely suggest bringing $2 million and the ability to drive faster than 12 miles an hour. All right, that's today's video. If you want to see a video about how unfriendly the locals are in each state to newcomers, let me know in the comments section. We could do that one. All right, have a great day. Be nice to each other.